Erin Coley, and this is my reflection on culture, ethnicity, and race. Living in sunny South Florida, I'm lucky to be among one of the most diverse communities in the United States. The Palm Beach County School District hosts 276 schools with a diversity score of 0.51, higher than Florida's score of 0.46, and much higher than the national average of 0.30. It's not rare to hear Creole, Spanish, French, Indian, Hebrew, all spoken in one day. I'm constantly trying to decipher accents, whether in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru or on an inquiry phone call with a new parent. As a middle-class white girl, I often tell people that I grew up in a Leave It to Beaver household, super conservative, traditional, and sheltered. I went to school with kids of many races and ethnicities and didn't really think twice about it. I just assumed that their lives were similar to mine. When I started teaching in the high school where I graduated from 10 years later, the population had changed quite a bit. Currently, it's at a 76% minority. My class, an elective affected by the No Child Left Behind class size amendments, had 40 to 50 kids in it. So I didn't really get to know all of my students. The kids I did get to know were the ones whose parents could afford to send them to theater competitions or on theater trips, and those who could stay after school for show rehearsals because they didn't have jobs to hold down like a lot of the other kids did. My obliviousness continued to some extent while I've grappled with understanding the depths of the struggle that others go through. Excuse me. I've believed that those who were in poverty needed to work harder. They needed to study harder, be better parents, be better students, until I was in poverty myself as a single mother, struggling to make ends meet. Firsthand, I saw what poverty does to families and how it affects honest people who truly want to work hard and support their families. There's a sense of hopelessness and embarrassment while families struggle to look normal. Through Jane Elliott's experiment, creating a hierarchy in her classroom of third graders, we learned that students who are classified as less than others will become less than with lower scores and a lower ability to learn. This fact alone shows how our judgments and assumptions destroy people and are a major barrier in our educational system. Why is there a dichotomy where some students achieve and some do not? I think the answer is clear. Not only do kids live up to what is expected of them, high or low, but different cultures value education in different ways. My older kids attended a high-performing, rated 7 in the country, public magnet school, high school, where 57% of the school population are minority children, mostly Hispanic and Black, with a diversity score of 0.72. When my son graduated nearly 2 years ago, 8 of the top 10 students recognized at graduation were of Indian or Asian ethnicity. Our cultural assumptions and the cultural realities are both responsible for the clear division in student performance. According to Paul Tough, writer of How Children Succeed, and the economist James Heckman, other clear separations of our student performance can be pointed at the lack of non-cognitive character skills, such as responsibility, follow-through, impulse control, and resilience. These skills can be affected by stress in children's lives, as well as a lack in parental attachment, both of which are at higher rates in certain minority groups that struggle at the bottom of the student performance statistics. Closing the gap in student performance, separated by socioeconomic levels, must happen in order to create equity in our schools. There's a fear among many parents and even officials that if we focus on the lowest performing kids with all of our resources, that the top performers won't progress. But this has been disproven time and time again. As a matter of fact, improving staff morale, school culture, and collaborative relationships are extremely instrumental in making all students improve and will improve students in the long run. When we further equity, we contribute to the greater good of our society and everyone benefits. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, we all do well when we all do well. If we ignore equity, we make inequality even broader and destroy our nation. I've come to understand that, as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility. Teachers have an incredible power to affect children on a day-to-day basis. The ability to change this nation into one that is more equitable begins with the students and the children that we teach. Not only do we need to create environments where every one of our students is getting their educational needs met, but we must teach the importance of ending prejudice and discrimination. In addition to teaching the facts, we also must teach non-cognitive character skills such as compassion and responsibility so that every student can be successful students who contribute to society. Personally, I will be more picky about the theater material I choose for my students to work on, while being more aware of the message I'm sending through my words and my actions. With specialized classes like theater, I actually have more freedom to explore and expand my students' knowledge and understanding. My focus will no longer be on making everything equal and making all the expectations the same, but in making sure that every student is successful.